This is the place to be.
Yeah.
This is the place to be.
Yeah. Innovation Days.
Good morning or guten Morgen. This is Morten from English, and I have the pleasure of talking to Karsten from Impressed today. And Karsten, I mean, you must hear it often, but every time people meet you, they get quite impressed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I had to start the day with a bad joke. No, but I think it's a great name also because you are a let's say a solution provider or distributor with a lot of consultancy also in the German market for companies like Ultimate, for Enfocus, and from a few other companies as well. And I mean, how is that? Are the Germans finally getting ready to be automated, or is it still handheld?
No. There's some segments of the market where they're starting to automate, of course. And since we have been around since over 30 years now in the pre-press market, distributing softwares for companies like Enfocus or Ultimate or Color Software, Krause in position, Color Logic, of course. Color management has become a big issue the last years again. Same with imposition solutions. People asking a lot because most of the imposition solutions from the other vendors which are selling printing machines as a main focus are not capable of fulfilling all the needs the market is bringing in with the new web to print.
Is that both when it comes to, let's say, the complexity of imposition, or is it mainly the speed? Because we talk about often in a digital environment that you need to be very, very fast today, right?
Yeah, I think it's both, Morten. It's both. What I hear a lot when we started selling imposition solutions again 4 or 5 years ago, in earlier days back in the 90s and 2000s, we were selling preps a lot, as you know, the one and only imposition which was mainly around. And then it really stopped over the years. And when web to print became an issue again, we started to sell imposition softwares much more, which is Ultimate, of course, with InfoStrip as a focus on automation, of course. You're aware of that. And in Germany, we have a second vendor called Krause. The software they are having is called Krause Imposition Manager. And my new colleague, Holger Ferne, who is with Impress since last year, he used to be at Krause working as a product manager for Kim.
So you got insights.
We got insight. We surely do. And what he did, he invented what we call imposition tools. Because you remember in the early days, we had 800 to 1,000, 1,500 templates.
Oh, yeah.
To handle all these imposition schemes with different volume papers and now we are what we are calling rule-based imposition. So
which, of course, makes it a lot easier for the pre-press departments, but also a little bit less work for companies like Impress, right?
No, not really.
No, not really.
It's still a mixture because most of the companies still have both lines. They're having sheet-fed line, which requires once in a while hands-on for the more complex products they are inventing with their customers. And in digital printing, of course, it's fully automated down the line. And as a matter of fact, we're doing a webinar today showing our new apps for Enfocus Switch we invented. We have an app for the Fiery. It's called Fiery Pilot.
Because for people that don't know, in Enfocus Switch you have an Enfocus app store. So basically that means that this app can be integrated directly with Fiery in your Switch workflow.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
That's amazing, and I think that's also one of the things that differentiates you a little bit from a lot of the, let's say, smaller integrators. Because I mean, when I met you in Hamburg with Horizon event, maybe 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago at least. I was impressed because that was not intentionally. I was positively surprised, and also because you showed me some software that you have developed yourself. So you're not just a distributor and an integrator, but you're also a developer yourself. So what is it that you deliver and develop yourself?
Yeah, what we did 4 or 5 years ago, or we started 6, 7 years ago, we call it the impressed workflow server. So we have impressed again in the name. So you won't forget, Morten.
I will never forget, I
Yeah.
promise you.
And what we're doing is we're using Switch as in like an automation engine to benefit from all the cool features Switch is introducing in automated environments. And mainly we're using the metadata handling. And what we are doing a lot since like 10 years, more and more, is working in projects with our customers who are automating their output processes. And the big issue is that most of the companies which are still on the market are not producing one line, but they have like different web shops they're using themselves. They're working for big online print brokers. They have an ERP system, and all the metadata which is coming out of these systems has a different structure. So what we had to do in the beginning of the automated environments, we had to build workflows which would pick up the metadata structure, which is of course every time individual. If you're working with an ERP system, it has a different structure than, for example, a lead print webshop or Cloud Lab webshop, or what Wir machen Druck is exporting, or online printers is using. So we are normalizing all the metadata up front. So the workflows which are doing the pre-flighting, which are handling the imposition, which are handling the color management, are very streamlined because we are normalizing where the value is stored.
Just sorry to interrupt you, but it's just to understand that. So with your software, you utilize, let's say, the automation engine and the workflow engine of Switch, but then you have these, is it scripts, or how should I put it in words that is understandable? Basically use it to, when you talk about the normalization of that, is that what happens in your software? So you basically set a parameter for company X that this is the color tolerances, and this is what we do in case of errors. So that's logic behind the things, or how should I understand it?
Yeah, we are using Switch and the scripting capabilities of Script, which has
Okay.
a state-of-the-art scripting language they're using. They just moved from legacy scripting to TypeScript,
Yeah.
which makes it, I'm not a developer, I'm a pre-press guy, but my colleagues who are doing the development say it's much more easy for them and it's much more powerful than it used to be.
Yeah.
And we are using Switch as the backbone for the Impress workflow server. And Switch is like a black box, which of course has positive sides because you don't have to interact if you want to straight normalize and automate. But if you have to see, if you want to have an overview where the certain orders are, in which part of the process, in which step of the process, then you can define milestones, of course, and then you can visualize the state and the pre-flight result, and you get a quick overview, and you see, of course, the contacts if you have to call and ask and discuss problems which occur. So it makes it much more transparent.
So
And we have,
yeah, so sorry, but so I mean, so to me that sounds really like something that everybody needs, right? Because that is like the integration point between let's say the software that handles the files and the flow, and then you have, as you say, contact data, which is important because sometimes you need to talk to customers, but also like the logics that are specific for each of the lines. As you say, there can be different production setup, different types of technologies, and all these kind of things.
yeah.
So people that don't have EVS, is that IVS? What do you say? Impressed.
IWS. Impress
IWS. Yeah. So the companies that don't have that but only work with Switch, they just have way more work doing the same, right?
Yeah.
They would need to script all the processes that you have already scripted and deliver as part of your service. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, basically, right? So I guess that in this case, Enfocus must be quite happy with you because you invested a lot of energy and time and money into making it easier for people to onboard, right?
Yeah, true. And we have integrators already in South America. There's one guy we're working with, and he's in the South American market and addressing all this automating issue. And I think the most thing which really differentiate us from other vendors is that we are using the very open architecture of Enfocus Switch, which is not focused on one vendor, but our really big point is that we can choose with our customers the best solutions. And you know how fluent and how agile the market is at the moment. People are changing printing machines, they are getting Postpress aggregates new, and because they want to extend their functionality and what they can offer. And through the Enfocus App Store, which makes it possible for vendors to just integrate into Enfocus Switch, without being in focus, it's really handy and it's really easy to set this up. And normally it's not taking 2 or 3 weeks. And our main focus is not to sell day after day after day to our customer, but to get them really quick up and running. And if they are prepared well, we are up and running in 2 to 3 days.
Quite amazing.
Yeah.
You are at the Hunkeler Innovationdays I'm leaving in 2 days. I can't believe it. And you will, of course, show both the IVS, but also how it integrates with the Enfocus Switch. And you told me before we turned on the camera, exhibiting together with our good friends from Belgium. What can people expect from your booth? Or when they come and visit you guys?
Yeah, charming. Well, on the one hand side, of course, Enfocus is showing their products, and I think their focus will be on Enfocus Review, which is a review tool, like an add-on to Enfocus Switch, to get rid of this email stuff, sending PDFs through the universe. And of course, Impress will be focusing on Enfocus as well, on Focus products, since we are one of the biggest distributors for Enfocus, selling in the German, Austria, Switzerland region. And of course, we will focus on the Impress workflow server and showing how it becomes really easy to automate if you have data which is describing the production, what we call metadata, which is normally handed over by an ERP system or a web shop, as we discussed earlier.
And of course, that is, let's say, the secrecy of everything is basically if you have the right data, then you can also output the right, decisions that are automated, because you basically have the data from MIS systems, web shops, etc. Fantastic. Karsten, you know that some of these interviews I do running up to Innovation Days, they have been, we could have talked for hours, and I think you and I could have done the same, but you have a webinar with almost 100 people attending in just 15 minutes. You look extremely calm. Are you doing this every day, or?
No, but I'm doing it since I live on the countryside in northern Germany. And when we started doing webinars, I took a chance, so I didn't have to go to Hamburg all the time.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm
comfortable with it. Yeah.
So it has ruled out for you to have this advantage that you don't have to go to Hamburg, and at the same time you can serve a lot of customers with your fantastic width and knowledge. So that's just fantastic. Thank you very much for your time here on Enkish. I know it was a little bit under pressure, but we will have more time when we meet each other in Lucerne in next week. And I look very much forward to see all the things we just spoke about. So that will be interesting. And for the people watching this, stay tuned. I will visit Karsten and his colleagues and see a little bit more about what is going on there. So until then, take care and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Morten. Have a safe trip to Lucerne. See you on Monday then.
Definitely. Bye-bye. Bye.